Hi, and welcome to Tennis Volley Talk with Brian Daniels. Hey, this week, what I'm actually going to be kind of covering is the Rome tennis tournament that just took place last weekend, and who won that, and kind of the accomplishments that happened during that. On the men's side, it was Jannik Sinner, and he beat Casper Ruud 6-4, 6-4. Now the surprising thing is with that is that Sinner became the first Italian man in 50 years since 1976 to actually then win the Rome Open in 50 years, which is a big accomplishment in itself. Ever since Adriana Panada ended up winning the Rome Tennis Open back then in 1976. And he was a really good player. He played really a very good, accomplished tennis player in that regard, on that aspect. And kind of a thing right now with uh, the Jannik Sinner, he has actually been on a tear and playing so good. Really, he's kind of the odds-on favorite with the upcoming French Open starting on Sunday, the 23rd, which will be the starting of a 2-week French Open in Paris at Roland Garros Stadium. So that should be a pretty good tournament coming up. And there's so many that have the chance to win. Odds-on favorite with the men on the men's side, it's going to be Jannik Sinner. Maybe who might be able to take him out could be a possibility of Daniel Medvedev, or possibility uh, Zverev, and Alexander Zverev possibility. Taylor Fritz, he's coming back after knee surgery, so he will maybe make it somewhat, but not bending on it too much with his coming back after knee surgery. With that, too, on the women's side, you have a whole big bunch of women that could actually take it. Sabalenka could, Rybakina could, Goff could. Now you have Svitolina that could take it. You have Marta Kostic. You have a whole variety, even Jessica Pegula, even though she's kind of been in that tier that's been just below some of those high top women, but she has just as much of a good chance to win Roland Garros as anybody else, as any of the other women do. Now, with that, also with Sinner, he has 30 wins, he has 2 defeats, 4 titles. He's won actually $5,528,867,000. So that's a lot. And then he's at 100% in the Masters Series, 1000 series, and then 100% on clay. So he's on a roll right now. And with that, too, in Rome, you had Elina Svitolina that at 31, after being a mother, comes back and wins it for her second time. Last time she won it was 8 years prior to that. And she was down in the first set against Coco Gauff in that final. And she came back and won 6-4, 6-7. And then she reset. And then she just was on a tear and ended up beating Coco Gauff and winning the title 6-2. So Elina Svitolina has just as much of a chance to win the French Open as any of the other women, but there's a little bit more of the possibility of somebody in there that could win it again, with the whole variety more so than on the men's side in that case with that. So on that case, on that behalf, though, what you have going too is in Strasbourg this week in the 250 event, you actually have Emma Navarro that's actually been coming back, hitting the ball good again. It looks like she's been working out. She looks like she's put some more muscle on her body and in her lower legs, so she can get to these shots out of the corners a lot better, a lot quicker. And she actually had 2 wins over, let's see, over Iga Swiatek. Oh no, that was Svitolina that actually had 2 wins over Iga Swiatek and then Elina Rybakina in her match. But other than that, with Emma Navarro, she's actually beat 2 top 10 players to make it to I think the quarters or going into the semis. I think it's the quarterfinals that she actually made it into. So she's starting to play pretty good again. So she might actually kind of peak a little bit at the French Open, but we'll have to see how that comes about with her play right now. And so with that, with Emma Navarro coming back, she's in the mix. She used to be number 8 in the world, and she's dropped down a little bit now, a little bit in the rankings somewhat with her play. But who do you guys think will win the French Open? What's your prediction? Let me know in the comments. Like, subscribe, and comment. And you podcasters out there, like, subscribe, and comment, and you'll hear about the Racket of the Week coming up pretty soon pretty soon. So with that, what's your prediction? Now, this next coming up week, I may have another Zoom call and with another doubles specialist. So we'll have to see, and we'll take it and see if it comes to fruition. And then with that, another one a week after that, or maybe after the week of the first week of the French Open, I might get Rob Small, my kind of co-host that I have, that comes on with me, and we can talk the French Open and what's going on with the French Open at this time after the first week, and see what happens. And then with that too, like, subscribe, and comment, everybody on YouTube and you podcasters out there. So let me know what your predictions might be, and we'll hopefully it'll start. The start play will be Sunday, this coming Sunday, and should be a very good tournament, and we'll kind of see how that flows with everything. Now, with that in mind, what we have going here is a Regent racket of the Racket of the Week here, and it's the Top Star Regent racket. Now, the Regent racket this has the strings that probably came in with the manufacturer, the strings that came with it whenever they shipped it to a sporting goods store, or whoever, and wherever they hung it up there too, with that, and a special selected frame, and also does have embossed on here Julia Ann Roberts, and that's who actually owned the racket back in the day. Whenever she stamped her name on it there too, so that was kind of cool to see that on it. And it's also sponsored. It was made for pros like Don Budge, and he's actually one of the sponsors of it too, of this racket, and recommended for play like pros like Don Budge. So with that, like, subscribe, and comment on the channel if you like what I do here, letting you know. It also has the strings that are at the bottom and then the top above the main strings, and that's called trebling. That was in the early 19th century that they did this, and it was really kind of a precursor to the string savers that they have now, the little round, or the Wilson W that they have for the string savers to keep the strings from rubbing together. That's what they thought best. Now with this too, that does have the ribbons, and the ribbons were started in around about 1950s or so, 40s, late 40s, 50s. And the ribbons were actually then designed in what they thought would help with the racket and how the lamination, they did it in layers. And what they did is they glued this stuff and the layers together and formed the bow of the racket and made the racket head. So they glued these together. So then with the ribbons, what they did is it was kind of the ribbon to actually firm and hold the layers together for the racket itself. So it just give it a better uh, feel and a better steadiness to the racket itself with that. And so, yeah, with the Regent racket itself, the Regent actually, the company was founded after World War II, around 1945, by Irving Lawner, uh, with about $100. It became a major player in the U.S. market by importing affordable rackets from Asia in the 1960s in Japan, Taiwan, and Pakistan, showcasing various wood types. They endorsed the likes of Don Budge, which this is endorsed by Don Budge. He was one of the endorsed people that they endorsed with the racket itself, and also Alex Almundo, by putting decals of the players' names and pictures on the racket itself. So, with the decals that they had, and they put the pictures of the players on the racket. So, and this racket here is really still a very straight racket. You could hit with it, not very hard, but it'd be kind of a nice little racket to hit a soft couple of volleys with, just to hit with a wood racket again. I've hit with a few wood rackets myself that I have. So it's been pretty nice hitting with this the wood rackets there. But also, I kind of like the color though, the white color all the way down the throat, the little kind of the American flag look that way. However, it was maybe the endorsement because he is Don Budge was from the USA, American player. So with that, it's very good racket still, and you can hit pretty good with it still. So yeah, with that racket, also in the 1960s and 70s, Regent even endorsed Ellen Renwall, uh, which was Irving's daughter's name spelled backwards, just so they could promote and try to get more sales with the racket, with the Regent wood rackets, and sought after. And nowadays, the Regent wood rackets like this, the vintage, they're sought after by collectors, and for decorative pieces and for historical significance, and the aesthetic of the retro racket itself. So yeah, with that, that's kind of a little bit of the history of the Regent racket. If you like that, like, subscribe, and comment on my channel. And with you YouTubers out there, and then also you podcasters, if you like that, you'll be hearing about the racket of the week also. And then also with that, it was the player Don Budge that they actually sponsored with that. And Don Budge actually then, he was born in 1915, and then he passed away in 2000. So he lived 84 years old. He was the only player, first player, male, that actually won all four of the majors in 1 year, and that was in 1938. The Australian, French, Wimbledon, and U.S. Open, and that was all in 1938 that he did that. And then also and he was a pro. He turned pro in 1938 and then retired in 61. So he had a very long career in tennis all the way around. And with that also, one of the best backhands he was noted for as an American player. Probably some of them even thought that it could have been even better than Ken Rosewall's backhand in that respect. And then he was number one in 1937, And then he won the Triple Crown, meaning that he won singles and he won doubles and he won mixed doubles. And he did that in 1937 and 1938. So that's a pretty good respect of that player back then to be able to do all of that and accomplish all of that. So, like, subscribe, and comment with anybody. I do like doing this with showing people, letting people know a little bit about history of tennis. And with some of the Zooms I've had or the phone calls that I have with interviewing some of the top players of learning their tennis journey has been such a fun aspect of me doing the podcast here. So everybody like, subscribe, and comment. And then next week, if you're outside in a warmer climate, keep on playing. And with us, it's starting to get a lot nicer here in the northern part of the colder country, but we're getting out there, and I've been playing a little bit. I'm in a league this year, not doing too good after some of the injuries I had last year, getting back into hitting, but I'm starting to hit the ball a little bit better. And who knows, I might end up winning a match somewhere along the way. Who knows? So thank you, everybody. Keep getting out there and hitting. And I will then talk to you next week. And everybody have a nice week.